Alright, YouTubers, all loaded up from this place. I am in Michigan, by the way. I don't know if I even said that in any of the previous videos. I'm leaving here and headed west, where I have some family, and we're gonna get moving. And being me, I am always late. Vinny's on my lap. Kiki's in the coffee pot where she was already there. Alright, away we go. And look at that, YouTube. All hazy again. I had a nice day and a half. Looks like I might be heading into rain. Keep trekking. Hopefully I can make the deadline I was supposed to be there by. But people know me well enough to know I'm always late. Here we go. Michigan really is beautiful. I think if you could get rid of that team that happens to be in Ann Arbor, Michigan would be a great state. But man, that really takes some points off of them. People refuse to even say the name unless they say Muck Fishigan. They call them TTUN, that team up north. Rivalries are a good thing, especially when you've been winning for a while. About Michigan, for people who haven't been, for people who know, who live here or have been here a lot, they know what it is. Everything's sand, and that's kind of cool, but everything gets dirty. That's why you got to have those mats. I kept a small hand towel right by the door. Now I take my flip-flops off. I would just wipe my feet down, and I vacuumed today to try to clean it up while I had power, but it's hard to keep the dirt out. And when you walk around and you see fire hydrants with a 6-foot pole with a flag on the top, you know you're in a country that gets a lot of snow. And it doesn't usually go away. We used to come up here where I'm going, a different house, but the house we used to go on the lake, which I might drive by and take a picture. My greatest childhood memories, once I got deported to Ohio, were at this Lakehouse. And we would come up every spring, and we called it the guy trip, and we would rake leaves off the property. And we'd get, 200 plus bags of leaves. And then when our numbers kind of dwindled down, it was just me and somebody else. We couldn't possibly do it in a long weekend. So we got to where we would just get a tarp and we would drag them back into the woods where there was this old foundation of an old house that was long gone. Almost like a basement, but not quite. And we would just fill that up. And each year, most of them would decompose down. But one spring we came up and we didn't have to rake because there was still snow. There was still ice on the lake. stand up. It was hilarious. Everything but my right or left arm, I don't remember it. All but one arm was soaking wet. And I went scampering up to the house, cursing him out. Being a former city kid, I was not against what we would call foul language. I'm actually impressed with myself on YouTube, and it might be helping me in my real life because I edit out my swearing here, and then I try to limit it, so I think it has boiled over. When I get on hills like this, I don't floor any. There's a bad side of a hill and a good side of the hill. I deal with the bad and I take advantage of the good. See, that's 70. I'll get a ticket. So that's not a trip. So I think they have unmarked cars up here. So I was gonna go, I'm going to visit my aunt, and in my family, again, my grandmother, there's probably 5 or 6 families we grew up with that are of no relation to us, but we call them aunt and uncle, and their kids do the same to my grandparents. But I was gonna stop on the way back from the UP, but I figured since today is Friday, I would stop there first. And again, from all my videos, it shows I like to go when there's not a lot of crowds. So I figured if I head up to the UP Sunday, it would be better than being up there for the weekend. I'm gonna turn my lights on. They moved up here, shoot, I think it's been 20 years. It's been a long time. I'm not sure when it was. Yeah, that sounds about right, 20 years. My uncle and I moved their stuff for them. We rented a U-Haul, and I followed him in his car, and it was snowing. Ran over a Christmas tree on the way back. It was a mess. And some of the stuff we took to their house, and some of the stuff we took to storage. And he got the U-Haul truck stuck at the storage place because there was that much snow. And had about a 6 or 8 foot chain. Son of a gun. Sorry about that. I don't know if I missed a sign for slower speed. But he had like a 6 or 8 foot chain, and I pulled him out with his little Honda. Amazing, really, that he didn't run me over once he got moving, because there was not a lot of play. And I'm sorry for walks down memory lane, which apply to none of you that watch. Well, I got a couple family members that watch from time to time. But when you go back to those places you remember as a kid, it can't help but stir those old memories. And like I said, this was probably through school, my school age years in Ohio, where our trips up here were my best memories. I came up here once, I was going to buy a piece of property That wasn't going to happen. Prices for waterfront property are insane. Even in places way up here where you can't, where most people don't winter up here. They just have a cottage they use for a few months out of the year. Yet still the prices for those are insane. You get off a lake and up here you can find some decent real estate prices, but for me, it would kill me to be real close to a lake but not on it. There's something about watching a lake, as you can see in my a lot of my videos. Got to find the water. I think we're going out for dinner, which is awesome, but I started realizing I don't think I brought any pants. Like real pants. Well, I got a pair of jeans. Oh, I got a button shirt and a pair of pants that have been hanging in the closet in the wardrobe in this for a year probably and never worn. Because I forgot things. I always forget things. I'm not 100% sure if I have my hiking boots, and I know I forgot a cat litter scoop. I had to go buy another one. Who has 2 cats in an RV and doesn't bring his friggin' litter scoop with him when he's got like a zillion of them in the house? This idiot does. That's who does. Okay, that might be enough ramble and gray skies for a while. But I will say this, people lucky enough to live in Michigan, in some aspects, just nature-wise, it's just gorgeous. And I'm really excited about seeing more of the UP. I had that one trip 3 years ago that, I think it was 2 years ago, that I went to Canada and went up around the lakes and came down to Sault Ste. Marie, but I just went straight through the UP. I didn't really stop other than I ate a pasty, because they're famous for that, and that goes back to when you're in different areas, enjoy the different areas and enjoy the different foods that they have. Not only is McDonald's and fast food bad for you, there's good food out there to be had when you're traveling. The other good point is I mapped out some places that I'm going to try to do some boondocking, because temperature's right for it, Temperature is definitely right. Shouldn't need electricity. I called my aunt to tell her where I was, or what time I would be there, really, because I use a GPS for everything. And she said, well, where are you? I said, I don't know. I know I'm going the right way. I'm going west on 72. Now I'm on 127 or 121. But my GPS is calling everything roads, not numbers. And because, I'm in the middle of nowhere, there's no little signs for towns to tell her, well, I'm by here, I'm by there. I'm just not sure. And I swear I can drive all over the country, get where I'm going, but a lot of times I don't know exactly where I am. GPS, it's a wonderful thing and it's a terrible thing, because even in town, even in the city I live in, that I know how to get everywhere, I turn my GPS on everywhere I go, it feels like. Even places I know. And I do that mainly to know when I'm going to get there, how late I'm going to be, and see if I can fix it. When I'm in a car, I can often fix it. When I'm in Cousin Eddie here, I can't fix it too often. I can only hope to maintain my lateness.
In 2¼ miles, keep right.
Okay. Sorry, Prius. It's terrible when you're apologizing to a Prius. But again, I'm pushing the gas, but I'm not going to floor it and beat up my RV. one person, there'll be somebody that knows where I am. You know what I mean? That recognizes this and knows this area. I think it's always pretty cool. A little frightening, to be honest, sometimes. People say, oh, I know you're on such and such a street. Yikes. I'll move over for you. Move over for you. I'm speeding. But I wouldn't want to be behind me either, buddy. But I would want to... I'm not going to say anything bad about Priuses. They're supposedly good cars. I'd get a Tesla if I had the money.
In 3/4 of a mile, keep right.
Okay. It's that same bossy lady. I need to get somebody else talking about. My old GPS had an Australian accent, which I liked because I lived there for a while. And it's an awesome accent. Everything's got a lilt to it, so it's not as irritating when your GPS is yelling at you when it has a more friendly accent. Keep right. It's a bend in the road.
Keep right.
I have every intention. Well, I guess there's a dirt road that I could have went straight. Oh, but it's just beautiful up here. This is why we do what we do. "17 miles of Traverse City." Or, when I was up here, everybody just calls it Traverse. Neat little town. I think I might be passing through there between festivals. I think they just had their cherry festival or cherry blossom festival, whichever they call it. And I think the film festival's coming up, and apparently it just gets nuts up here. Well, summer it gets nuts up in this area of Michigan. Everybody, all the locals calls people fudgies, because I guess they're famous for fudge up here. All the fudgies come up for fudge and cherries. Most everything in this little town I'll probably film tomorrow, Beulah. It's a town we used to go into all the time when I was here. Most everything is cherry related. The drive-ins, the cherry bowl, there's the cherry hut, which is famous for cherry pies and all that kind of good stuff. It's a neat little town. I suggest to everybody, if you took trips as a kid to a certain place often, and you've grown up and haven't been there in a long time, go back. It's really cool. It's a really cool thing to do. And hopefully they stir all the good memories, not the getting in trouble for trying to put 47 jawbreakers in your mouth or something silly. Moved over a little, dude, but that's all gravel over there. I'm not getting over too far. And I'm doing 60, so I get the warning signs. I usually try to listen. And Cousin Eddie anyways. If I'm in my car, I go faster. You got a sense of speed that you sadly can't go fast enough anymore. This one says 35, so I'm gonna slow it down. Come on, Van. We're gonna have to figure out something for you, because you don't fit no more, man. You're hanging off. And you're very uncomfortable for me. Hey, look, a lake in Michigan. Go figure. thought always as a cop, because I do that for other people, but it just doesn't seem like a place where there'd be a cop. My guess might be an accident. And everybody's braking. We see a rolled over vehicle. Hope everybody's okay. Bad. Wow. All right. That'll sober you up. That'll get you back to hoping. You gotta pay attention. Didn't look like a deer. Could have easily been a deer. So I think, I could be wrong, but I think Michigan is right up there for most deer hits by cars in the United States. I didn't see a deer, but you know, sometimes you're able to limp off and sadly die off in the woods somewhere. But it didn't look like a deer. It looked like somebody might have got off into that gravel. Soft, wet gravel. I'm continuing to do the same thing. Flashing other people coming that way. Getting close, interlocking. That is my destination. There are times I consider something like that little Dutchman small Class C, because this is great when the wheels are turning, but it can get cramped. And again, the two cats. This I remember. It's been a few years since. Here. That's enough, YouTubers. Have a great and wonderful day.